Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20, and welcome to episode 53 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series, where I'm prepping an area to do a whole bunch of Mekanism type work. So, sometimes Mekanism starts off and I have it up in my main area. Today I'm starting off with Mekanism in my basement from day one. And the reason for that is because I kind of already have, like, a decent amount of, like, if I need to process something manually, I can do it here. I want to automate everything from the get-go with Mekanism, since we're starting it later in the series, right? So with that said, I'm going to build out my Mekanism area all the way downstairs, and that should be pretty cool, and hopefully will play out pretty well. So we're going to start by doing some basic teaching of metallurgic infusers, right, to this bad boy, right? We need to learn how to make metallurgic infusers, which is the first machine you need from Mekanism. So Mekanism is a pretty advanced and late game tech mod. Let's get our metallurgic infusers and take a look at what we can make with them. I'm pretty sure, unless things have changed, and like I said, some things may have changed, there's a handful of things that we can make. There's stuff that uses biomass that I rarely mess with. There's stuff that uses diamonds that I will, so that's one type of metallurgic infuser that I want. There's stuff that uses fungi that I barely mess with. There's stuff that uses carbon that I will care about, so that's 2. Okay, redstone is 3, and refined obsidian is 4. So we should need 4 types, unless there's a new type that I haven't learned about yet, of metallurgic infuser, and that should be where we're at. So I'm making 4 metallurgic infusers, kind of as normal. Okay, boop, boop, boop. So there's a few things we're going to want down here in our area, and I'm probably going to want to get into Mekanism items and fluids and all kinds of other stuff. We're going to start by teaching them how to make basic universal cables, and we will probably eventually want to learn how to make the more advanced cables and types of things, but for now we're probably going to want, like, you know, a healthy amount of this. Now we currently have some form of steel processing going, though I forget how I set it up. I have no idea. What's steel? How do we make steel? I don't know. So processing pattern for steel ingots have steel compounds, and steel compounds are this. That's probably not super efficient. So we're going to want to replace this and do it more efficiently. Let's get into it today with all kinds of good stuff. So we've got our 4 metallurgic infusers. I think... What's an Enderman doing here? How is there an Enderman here? Enderman, you don't belong near my base. What are you doing here? Are you like another sneaky Enderman that's like sneaking around by my base? You shouldn't be allowed here because I have a feral flare lantern. I mean, I guess there's some, like, not too far away, but I don't even know where you're hiding. Where are you? Killing me. Oh well. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm gonna get back to what I was doing. Right. So metallurgic infusers can make all kinds of cool stuff. What I'm gonna want is, how do we make enriched stuff? We're gonna need an enrichment chamber, and for that, we're gonna need some things that can only be made in Mekanism. And that is one of our first new items from Mekanism, the basic control circuit. So, very different. Remember those used to be like little circuit board things that were green? These are the basic, that's one of the new textures. Lots of new textures in Mekanism. I'm kind of excited to see them all. I don't know if there's any mechanic changes, like I said, but we'll find out together. Okay. In terms of stuff I'd like to do otherwise, maybe what I could do, so you're doing that right now. I'm thinking we're probably going to want a lot of channels over here. Okay, like a really healthy-ish amount of channels. What I might do is, let's get some cables, okay? And let's get the color applicator dude. Is it in here or is it in my backpack? There he is. Sweet. I'm going to move you a little bit. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to color applicator you, and then color applicator you, and then we don't need to do the thing with the thing, right? So now they're separated and they're kept separated, and that's kind of cool. Okay. That's the main purpose of doing color applicators. So I'm just going to steal this real quick. And now you should be good, right? That should be fine. That's cool. That works still. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Perfect. And now I can use this blue guy to run over in that direction. So I think I'm going to P2P this. because that seems smartish to me. And I wonder if I can use P to like the coloring to do the P to P rather than some other approach. So normally I would run a cable here, right? If I made you like yellow, no, because then I still need to do the quartz fiber bit. I was curious if I could get away with not having to do the quartz fiber trick to power this thing, but the answer is no, you definitely need that still. So let's do it underneath, okay? And then we'll have you, boop, boop, okay? So now you're powered, but you're not connected, right? And that should be cool. And let's get our memory card here for AE2. And shift-click to set up that new device configuration and be ready for it to work. Beautiful. And now we can run this over to here. And we'll decide how I want this to run down, but what I'm thinking is maybe just right through here. I should get like a much better pickaxe, probably, now that I have access to do that easily. So you... And then I could just have you drop like right down. And then we'll decide where we want, like, some machines and such to live. So I'm thinking, like, there'll be some machines over here. There might be some machines over here. And maybe in the center, I want to have my ore processing hyperbox. That's... maybe? Yeah, we'll figure it out. You know me, I like to grow organically. All right, so let's get a few things sorted, right? So first off, we'll have some cabling. And this is going to be like where some auto crafting happens. Oh, look at those nice fancy cables. I like it. Very nice. Very fancy. Very cool. Let's stick a flux point down here. Sounds good to me. Powered up. Ooh, nice and charged. Beautiful. Loving the new stuff. Okay. So then your machines will get pattern providers. So we're gonna need a healthy amount of them. So I'm just gonna craft out 10 of them real quick and let them cook. We're also gonna want some export buses. Okay. Let's get like 10 of those real quick. And again, let them cook. Sweet. So that should handle all that stuff pretty well. I'm thinking the export buses could go on the back. Is there any reason I can't use back? Let's find out. I'm curious, can Mekanism machines at this point... oh, look at you. Oh, you've got the thing on the things. That's awesome. That is new. That is really cool. I love that. And it looks really good, too. So on the back, input, output, input, and output. That's probably what I want. That might actually be the top. I think back will be extra, right? So yeah, let's configure this, because that is cool. Okay. I like. So give me these guys. So we're going to export into the back, and that's where I'm going to dump things like coal and redstone, but I'm not going to configure that yet, because I don't want to dump coal and redstone. I want to dump the enriched versions of them. So ultimately what I want is 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 items, enriched carbon, enriched redstone, enriched diamond, and enriched obsidian, are the things that are going to get pushed into these machines. And then it uses the carbon, the redstone, the diamond, and the obsidian to do craftings. Okay, so you get like this diamond stuff, and then it'll craft using that. Okay, so we're going to basically want to keep them full at all times with that resource. And then when we do our auto crafting request, we can say something like, hey, go ahead and put an infused alloy into the machine, and you'll get a reinforced alloy out. You don't have to worry about keeping this as part of the crafting recipe. That's why we do it this way. Cool. So pattern provider ready to roll. And you're going to go 1, 2, 2, 2. Okay. And this is like a perfect time to use about... Well, we're probably going to want more than 8 channels here. But we're going to use 8 very quickly. So let's get over here and run. We're going to want to run you, and then run you down. Here's fine, right? Okay, that should be cool. Now is that maybe... I'm probably going to want this wall here still. So let's move it back one more. And then we can keep this like hidden behind a wall. And that'll look a little bit nicer. Because I want to try to keep this looking good, right? Cool. And then you will wind up with a... let's put you here with a P2P tunnel outputting with you. New device configuration copied, right? And you're going to get a dense cable coming out here. Is that what I want? Or do I want this to... Maybe I'll do it here is where I'll do the P2P, right? Here. And I didn't want to shift click that, so I have to go shift click this now. So shift click this guy to copy his current configuration. And then you are going to load it up. And that's where the dense is going to come in, right? Now, eventually, I might wind up having more machines over here on the right. So we'll split off, right? We'll have something like this running to those machines. But right here is where we'll have these guys. And if we want to prevent these from connecting again, we can totally color code these, right? So I could make like you a yellow in that direction. And then we could color code this. So technically, I don't need to have this cable here. So maybe I don't need to color code you, and that would be cool. That's white. This should clear it. Nope, it does not. Fluix, that's what I want. Yes, cool. Right? Because this will share with all these guys, right? But these three will need cables. Okay? And then we'll have export buses there. And that's going to use 8 channels, right? So these 8 channels are all full now. 4 for the crafting providers and 4 for the export buses. Should be just fine. Cool. Now, if you want to be a little bit more efficient in terms of channel use, instead of using export buses here, you could totally use an interface. Okay. Not 1,000, please. Just one. One interface. You know, I should probably make a few more just to be ready for the future, but one's enough for now. We could use an interface. That could be cool. Maybe we'll do that to conserve channels. Right? So what we could do is like an interface here. And then he could keep in stock items, and then we could route them to the appropriate stuff. And that might be a little bit better for efficiency. So let's do that way. I think that's better overall, right? So now we're only using 5 channels instead of 8. See? Being efficient. Efficient is good. Like efficient. And if you don't like seeing these big pattern providers here, like, we could probably do it even a little bit more efficiently. Maybe. I'm going to stick with this for now. As a reminder, though, you can absolutely, if you want it to look a little bit tighter, do something like this. And then you just need cables on top, right? And that could be cool looking. That looks a little bit neater, I think. Yeah. See? Trying to make things look nice. So now let's get some redstone in there. And I'm going to want 2 things. I want to get enrichment chambers. That's like the first thing I want to get. And for that, we're going to need osmium plus redstone. How am I for osmium? Because I probably haven't processed all that much. Yeah, we're okay, right? So let's do you and you, right? So that redstone is like the worst way to do that. You want to enrich it first, but we need to do this before we can enrich it. So we're cool. Sweet. And then what I want to do is configure you on the up. I want you to be input and output. So let items come in, but also go out. Okay. And then if I configure it to, on the side here, auto eject, it should shove any item it makes out. So watch. As it's crafting it, it's going to immediately dump it into the AE system. See? How cool is that? So with that, we can be very efficient with sides and whatnot. I like it. With that said now, we should have enrichment chambers available to us. In order to get an enrichment chamber, we need steel casings. So I should add these to the auto crafting, right? That should be fine. And then enrichment chamber is cool. Okay. And then we can have an enrichment chamber here. And now we do have enough channels to do this. So let's just forego this bit for a moment because we conserved our channels. We can throw another pattern provider here. And then you can do that. And the same deal for you. Oh, look at that. That's cool. You're going to side config on the top. You're going to be input output with auto eject on, right? And no other sidedness to most of these, right? And if you want to clear the whole sidedness, I think you can shift click here and that'll do it all. So realistically for items, all we want is auto eject purple on top, right? Auto eject purple on top. Okay. Side config clear, purple, auto eject. Side config clear, purple, auto eject. And then finally, this last one. We're out of redstone, which is cool because I usually like my first one, and this is just my personal preference. I like my first one to be coal. In my brain, I'm like coal is the most common, redstone is like middle common, and diamond is like least common. And then this obsidian stuff is even harder to get, so that's like the least. Like in my brain, that makes sense. It's probably only my brain that makes sense, but you know. Yeah. Let's wash this just so I have inventory space. Okay, cool. So now I should be able to make enrichment chamber happen. And then let's not forget power for you. Boop, boop, boop. And we should probably teach you a couple enrichment recipes. So I'm going to teach you how to make all these things right now. And that's going to be 1 for coal, 2 for redstone, 3 for diamond, and 4 for enriched obsidian. Okay, which we don't know how to make yet, but we will soon. And that's going to go into the enrichment chamber patterns. Sweet. And now I can make enriched redstone. And I'm going to let that run for a few minutes. I'm going to want like a decent amount of those. So I'll be back. And I also want enriched carbon. Okay, so that's going to be a moment before it's done. But then once we get a few of those, we can make it run a lot faster. So I'll be back in a few minutes. But yeah, look, it's working. See? Perfect. All right, so now we have some enriched stuff that we can use here. So let's keep in stock with our ME interface like a stack of these, right? And it'll do its best, right? So as it sits right now, it's gonna keep 64-ish of these in stock. I could reduce that, right? We could make it like just keep 10 in stock. That might actually be a better. Let's make it 10. Yeah, I like that. I like that plan. And then if we got a crafting card, which I should probably teach the system how to make. I should teach it how to make the yellow cards too. This will allow it to auto-craft the things it's missing. So without a crafting card, if we took all the redstone out of here, right? It would be like, I don't have any I don't have any of this. No enriched redstone, sorry. Adding a crafting card to the ME interface allows the ME interface to make crafting requests. So when we do this, suddenly this thing starts running. And that's because the ME interface made a crafting request. Pretty cool. Okay, so with that said, let's use my old friend Laser.io to do some stuff. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to use Laser.io and the card holder here. And what we're basically going to do is have a laser node here. And on the up side of that, we are going to extract, 8 items a second should be a nice starting point. We will probably need to speed this up at some point in the future with overclockers, but I'll hold off on that for now. Even though, yes, I have some. Meh. And then here, what we'll do is we'll just run a line of these dudes, right? So now on the south side here, and I know it's south because metallurgic confuser. Ha ha ha. So cool. Very proud of my little thing that I did there. I would like you to insert things. What things would I like you to insert? I would like you to... I'm going to counting filter this. Only because I'm going to be a little stingy. I don't want you to have 64 enriched carbon just sitting there. So I'm going to let you go... How about 8? 8 sounds like a number that I like. I like 8. 8's a nice... round-ish number. And that's what I'm going to do there. And you know what, while I'm at it, speaking of things that I should really be teaching the AE system how to make, let's make more filters available, right? So you know how to make all the parts of filters, and that's nice. You're going to need to know how to make observers for this one. So let's get that added too. And then finally, since I just thought of it, let's teach you how to make this. And I should probably teach you, do you know how to make acceleration cards already? You do, so that's good. I'll do the crafting card because that one is usually a couple steps. But capacity is easy, we have those in stock already. Redstone card is cool. Overflow destruction card, that's new. Not familiar with that. And why am I not seeing crafting card there? Redstone, capacity, and overflow, that's it, huh? Interesting. Crafting card was not showing up there. That's cool. All right, so you guys are all good to go now. And then I should be able to request more counting filters, which won't be hard to make. By the time I get downstairs, they should be done. See? Done. I love that it gives you that on the top right, by the way. I like that addition. I really do. All right, so you're going to do that, right? And then you are going to insert counting filter. And you're going to be 8 of these guys, right? So now if I link all this with lasery stuff, boop-a-doop-boop, 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 and you. Okay? You should be cool to do this stuff now, right? So you should be getting that. Now I might need to side config. So on the laser node, let's make that yellow, which is the extra, right? So now it's going to just keep adding enriched carbon until it fills up and gets 8, right? So we won't, I don't like it, especially when we don't have like super infinite resources. I don't like having 64 enriched carbon sitting here and another 64 enriched carbon sitting here. Because that's like 128 pieces of coal that's just sitting there being wasted. In my mind, it just feels wasteful, right? I could make that 1, and that would be even less wasteful, but trust me, you want like a little extra, because once we get this thing moving really fast, you're going to want that buffer. 1's going to be just a little bit too little, okay? And then the same deal for this dude, right? You should be getting your 8, so side config yellow, and then boom, he'll get all the redstone-y good times, okay? And then eventually you're going to also want yellow, and you're going to also want, and right-click goes backwards, by the way, so it saves you a few clicks. Super cool. And we'll program those cards when we get to the point that we have, I mean, we could do, did I set up enriched diamonds? I should, right? I should. So let's get like 10 of you. And you could have those enriched diamonds programmed up, right? Set it and forget it. And then you, what I should do, if I put that in there, he's going to start extracting immediately. That's probably not going to be ideal, right? So let's take you out for a sec. I don't want him to put the coal or the redstone in just yet, right? I want to filter you and make it this and make it 8. That's what I was doing, right? 8. Yeah, I already forgot. Classic Dire. And I might as well program you as well since I'm at it. And you times 8. And now on the up here, you can have the extract card back. And now he should be filling up with diamond. Sweet. And he'll constantly request more as needed. Super good. All right, next up, we're going to want this to run faster. And for that, we're going to want tier upgrades. And I have to find them because they apparently have a different thing. That's sophisticated storage. Tier from Mekanism? There they are. Cool. Yeah, basic tier installer. That's going to be easy peasy. And then there's advanced tier installers. And then there's elite tier installers. And then there's ultimate tier installers. I'm just going to get them all ready to go. Now, for each of these, we're going to need control circuits. Now, we already know how to make the green control circuits, right? Easy peasy. If we want to get the next tier of control circuit, it's a crafting recipe that needs infused alloy, which is redstone plus iron. So let's be prepared for that. Now, luckily, you were pretty smart about not needing to worry about the infusion thing, so that's cool. Okay, good. And then for you, I want you to know how to make this guy. And that needs reinforced alloy, which is the infused alloy plus diamond. So that'll go into the diamond pattern dude. And is it too late for an osmium compressor? Because that's what we need to get reinforced obsidian. That might be a thing. That might be a thing. That could be cool. I might make one of those. That might be the last machine that I fit in that line. I think that would be cool. Yeah, let's plan for that. But yeah, that is a bunch of crafting things that will be nice to have from Mekanism. And those are just like components and crafting ingredients, right? But the tier upgrades is what's going to be super cool. Now, another thing I might want from Mechanisms are upgrades. Specifically, I want to know how to make speed upgrades. And for that, we're going to need osmium dust. I want you to know how to make energy upgrades. And for that, we're going to need gold dust. And filter upgrades, I rarely use. Muffling upgrades, I rarely use. Gas upgrades, I will occasionally use. So for that, we're going to need iron dust. And anchor upgrades, I don't think we might want that. That might be nice to use on our miner in the mining dimension, which I haven't really been doing much with. Oh, there's a stone generator upgrade. Generate stone or cobblestone as needed. That's cool. What does that go in? I have no idea. It's neat, though. It's neat that it exists. So how should I make my osmium dust? I should be able to just sag mill it, right? Can I make that from ingots? Apparently not in the sag mill. The crusher can, though. So we're gonna want a crusher from Mekanism, right? Mekanism crusher can do these things. And then iron dust, right? Yeah, iron. I hadn't done that one yet. Crusher, cool. Hey. There you go. And so for that, we're going to want a crusher. Oh, you know what else we need to teach you how to make? This. That's an important guy. And this is the time where I think I will move my carbon recipe. I think that sounds like a good plan. Yeah, let's change up our steel recipe. So I no longer want you making steel here. And I no longer want you to know how to make this steel for just a moment. I would like you to know that steel, we should make it via Mekanism. And the way to do that is we use the metallurgic infuser. At least I assume there's a metallurgic infuser recipe. Or am I missing this? We might need to steel dust first. So steel dust is made in the metallurgic infuser. From enriched iron, which is also made in the metallurgic infuser. Both of these are carbon metallurgic infuser guys. So we'll get those patterns added. And then we're going to want steel dust. What is this? What is this pattern? This is steel compound. So let's make it steel dust turns into steel ingot. And that would be cool. And that can go into our alloy smelter now. Cool. So let's go downstairs and get all those. Actually, are all these? No, those are not. These go here. 1, 2, 3. These go into the thing. This can actually go away. We don't need him no mores. And these guys go into a crusher, which I will make in just a moment. So I'm thinking maybe my crusher can go over on this side of the wall. Yeah, that sounds cool. I wasn't sure how much space I was going to need here, so I might have made it a little bit big. Let's make this a little bit smaller. I'm going to make it like 3 across. And then I might wind up having like, I want a machine there, so we could have like some machines starting here. And then maybe I'll close off this wall or do something else with it. Does that sound doable? Does that sound cool? So if I wanted to, you guys go in here, and now I should be able to say I want a crusher, so that if I want to make a crusher and control click it, it will start feeding enriched coal and do the iron to the thing, right? And that's going to be nifty. So it turns iron ingots into enriched iron, and then it processes them again with coal to get steel dust. And that's more efficient, coal-wise, than the recipe I had earlier. So that's why I'm doing that. And then you should be cool with your casings. And now I just need some buckets of lava, which we should have no problem doing. Sweet. And now we have a crusher. Okay. Awesome. So should I run down a new line maybe here? That's what I'm thinking. So like here, let's do another cable. Okay, and just like I had over there, we'll have a P2P output here. Because remember, P2P, you can have multiple outputs, right? And that's kind of cool. So load that up configuration-wise. Okay. And then we can have, coming out here, we'll be prepared for more pattern provider type things. See, I'm trying to make things look good. I really am trying. I hope you guys agree that I'm doing a not terrible job of it. Cool. All right. So now if I wanted some dust, like some iron dust, and hit start, let's make sure that you are, well, we forgot power, so that's important. But we also want to do our side config. So this is going to be purple in and out, right? And then we will have, what I'll do is I'll just run the power line under the ground here from the other guy, right? That should be cool. That should be doable. Okay, so there's power. That should be a good time. And do I have a building gadget? There you are. Just because I feel like that's quicker than digging through my pocket storage and getting out the items I need, right? So this thing's super slow, right? Even tick accelerated, he's pretty slow. That's where I want tier upgrades. So each tier installer adds 2 more processing lines that can happen in tandem with each other. So watch this. Shift click, boom. Now this guy is super cool. He can do things 3 times as fast. And then if we look for some upgrades, we can make them even faster. So I'm going to get like 8 speed upgrades and 8 energy upgrades, which needs more gold. Okay. Let's get gold, because I'm sure I have some. There you are. And yes, I have gold dust, and I'm about to smelt it so that I can then turn it back into dust. But whatevers, right? So you need energy upgrades. I want 8 of those. Cool. So you can see that tier upgrade, huge, right? Super cool. Mechanism, where's my... Let me have another tier installer, please. Is somebody else waiting on something there? Like, what are you guys waiting on? You're waiting on infused alloy. Why can't you make infused alloy? Oh, I know why. I put it in the wrong thing, didn't I? I'm sure I put alloys in the wrong... Yep. These guys belong here. So infused alloy is a redstone recipe, so that's this one. Now he's cooking. And then this is a diamond infusion, right? So he's gonna cook, right? I'm gonna click him in there, and now he can at least, if we split, he'll do 3 at a time. And then let's get another tier upgrade. And that should be cool, right? By the way, when you upgrade tiers, you get a bigger buffer for the liquid diamond, so you'll wind up doing more of that. And now's probably also a good time. No crafting CPUs are available. Really? That's funny. I guess we got a lot of stuff in flight. You know what it is? It's because it's making the redstone and that stuff. Yeah, that does make sense. That will be a thing. So see how slow they are? It's the worst. But don't worry, it's about to get way better. Hopefully you finish up pretty quickly. Yeah, you're cooking. There's your speed upgrades. So now I should hopefully be able to get another one of these. And we can make you faster. See? So if we split them, it'll evenly distribute all their stuff across the different, and that's... You want split on. Trust me, you just want... I always want split on. You might have a good reason not to do it. I ain't gonna judge. So what are you waiting on? A few more infused alloys. So let's get you cooking there. Okay. Sweet. Okay. So now every machine can be upgraded, typically with about 8 energy upgrades. So see how it's 8 out of 8. You can put less in, so you can put like 1 in, and it'll be a little bit faster. You put 2 in, it'll be a little bit more faster. Up to 8, which will be way faster. Note that that requires way more energy to do. But now, if we go ask for some energetic alloys, or whatever they're called, alloys, these guys infused, watch how much faster that is. Way better. That's not tick accelerated. My tick acceleration ain't running no more. That's the way we do it, right? So that's super cool. That is exceedingly cool. So normally at this point, I would want a couple things, right? So first off, I wouldn't mind a few more energy upgrades. I want a couple, right? I want to prioritize being able to make more of these. So what I'll do is I'll get some speed and energy upgrades on this stuff. And you'll make this part really fast. And that'll be cool. This part's going to be a little bit slow still. I'll tick accelerate that to get us through. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change these recipes here, thanks, to be make more at a time. So I would like you to, instead of saying like, hey, I'm just making 1 piece of redstone dust at a time, I'd like you to be, I feel like there's a way to do this, but maybe half, like, let's do 16, right? Let's do enriched. There's a way to change this, I thought. Is it like a shift click? No. Middle click to modify amount. Let's see if that works in this pack. Nope, it never does. Options, controls, keybinds, key. Usually it's probably you, inventory sorter, that's messing with me. I don't need you. It's probably inventory sorter that's messing with it. Can I do that now? Oh, I can. There we go. That's what I want. So we'd say 16, right? And that would be cool. So then the same for you. Middle click, 16, middle click, 16, right? See? So now it's 16 items goes in, 16 items comes out. So it's the same thing, 1-to-1, but it's a little better for AE to be able to request a bunch at a time. And it's going to run faster, because instead of like putting 1 item in at a time, it's going to put 16 in all at once, and that will be better for the load splitting that we just set up. Okay, so now you're all set to 16 of each at a time, and that's going to be cool. Okay, great, perfect. And then I bet I can't middle click to sort my inventory anymore, so we're going to have to go into the controls, keybind, sort. We need to figure out at some point as a society how to make that no longer be a thing, because that sort inventory button messes like with everything. That is middle click bound, right? So now I put these guys right in there, and when he goes to craft something like that, he'll do 16 at a time. Cool. Okay. And speaking of doing it, you can also shift click these from the outside and they'll go right in, so you don't even have to open that upgrades UI. That'll work too. Sweet. So now with that said, let's get 1 more batch. I'm going to add them to the crusher. So see how much faster it is, right? It puts 16 all at once. It's so good. So now you're my only slowdown, right? And now I can get way more of those things. And what I'm going to do between episodes is upgrade a little bit more, because now it's wrapping up point. So Darryl with 20 sign off. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, an intro to Mekanism. I again acknowledge, as usual, that a lot of you probably knew most of what I just taught. But this series is not just for you. It's for people who've never played modded Minecraft before and they want to learn things. So yeah, that's gonna have to be a thing that happens. We're gonna do a little bit of tutorializing as we go through. Basic control circuits. Did I not teach you how to make those? I thought I taught you how to make those. Maybe I didn't teach you how to make those. All right, well, time to go do that. All right, wrapping up point. Darryl with 20 sign off. Hope you enjoyed the episodes. You know what to do. Take it easy.